So this is a quick little walkthrough of my current experience installing and using the GROM Vlite unit in a 2005 Acura RL. I'll go ahead and fire up the car here, and first we'll start with letting you see how it works, and then I'll give some comments on the install. And also I'll put in the description below links to the different install videos that I used that talked about how to remove the radio, how to remove this console piece, how to remove the screen, which is also necessary, and how to remove that top speaker / display unit, which is all necessary in order to get this installed, along with the wood trim on the dash, which I'll say be very careful about doing that. I did snap a few tabs off, but luckily got it back on and everything's fine. So there we go. You'll see it fired up, and I had this button, I had it in this mode. You see it says CD up on top there. That's where the audio and everything comes in through. So basically what you see is it fires up right into CarPlay mode, which is, I think, pretty handy because that's where I keep it, 99% of the time. I have no need to use the stock navigation or anything like that. If you want to switch, if you want to like use your radio, so you see I'll go here to FM, and you notice that it went back over to this, and now you're like, well, geez, I can't use the radio and CarPlay together. Well, you can. If you hold down this map button for 3 seconds, you'll see it switches back. And so now I'm in my CarPlay mode along with the radio. So I think some folks think that doesn't work, but it actually does. And if I want to get back to using the audio from CarPlay or Spotify or whatever, there you go, right back to there. So that works just fine. So using it, you just scroll this guy around, you hit the center button to select. It's a little, it's not as good as a touchscreen, obviously, but it's certainly better than the Lexus controls and maybe some other controls that don't have the joystick and you sort of have a trackpad. So I think this is, plenty effective for me, and it keeps me happy. You can do audio searches. You can certainly type using the keyboard, like moving around, picking out letters and whatnot. But if you do want to search for stuff, the audio works just like it might, or it would normally work for anything else. If you see your Ask Siri to play audio, you hit the button, you speak into the microphone here, and it'll play whatever it is that you want to play. So that's pretty much the functionality of it. It's what you'd expect, and you could switch back and forth using your default built-in navigation controls, go on the screen, change all your settings just like you'd expect, or use CarPlay. So everything works great by using the disc button and the map button here to toggle back and forth between the modes and with a long hold. As far as install's concerned, it was not easy. I've done these in other cars. I've done one GROM unit in a Lexus RX 350, an older one. That was easier because there's just a lot more space and openness behind the dash. I did have to drill a hole to route some wires, but that one was pretty simple. On this one, it was tough because, number one, getting those wires from here inside the glove box across was niggly. It was hard to get things through. I used a coat hanger as a fishing wire, and I just basically taped things and pulled them across. It took some time, and it was a bit frustrating. I used some long nose pliers to grab stuff if it sort of was hard to get to, but essentially I routed everything through there. And the one part where I kind of got stuck was routing up the video cable. So the way this works is it takes some cables that run out of here. There's one that goes in the front, one that goes in the back, and the video cable comes through, and it basically puts a Y adapter in, and it gets in the middle of the signal that's typically going to the display, so the GROM unit can go in there, and then it toggles between them both. So I actually had a tough time figuring out how to run the wire up there, so I ended up drilling a hole, and I'm sorry I don't have this all off to tell you about it, but I ended up drilling a little hole in between the two air vent channels that are behind this, and I was able to route it up. I used a Dremel to cut that out. Didn't hurt anything. It's just some plastic. But that's, again, where I mentioned that's a little bit harder to do. And other than that, that was really the only, I would say, quote unquote, modification I made to the vehicle. The microphone wire runs from over there. It goes behind here. I just ran it up behind the plastic trim here, and the wire came out, and I just, for now, it's just taped there. I don't know if that's where I'm going to keep it. I typically like running them up to here, but, you know, I figured, you know, this was going to be hard to get through. Everything in the Acura is just so tight with low tolerances, which is awesome for the quality of the vehicle. But for stuffing wires, like up and running it in here or over here, and then, you know, sort of shove it in there and trying to pull this stuff out, it's just a little, you know, everything's so tight and well, I just didn't want to mess it up. And so that's there for now. I also ran a wire back for a backup camera. I haven't installed that yet. You'll see that little RCA jack is for the video. And then the red line there is short, but it will connect to another line that's behind here that will sense when the backup camera's on, and then and send the right images of the screen as you put it in reverse and take it out of reverse. So I had to get a little extra wire to splice in there, but again, no big deal. Anyone who's done this kind of stuff would see it and say, oh, I know how to do that. So that's about it. If you have any questions, you know, put some in the comments below or ping me, but hopefully that gives you enough information to go on to decide whether or not you want to do this yourself. I'd say for me in my time, $300 if someone offered to do it, it was going to be a clean install, I'd probably take them up on it. This was, geez, probably about 5 hours on and off over the course of a few days, just, you know, and some slow going. And, you know, I'd probably, you know, $300 to me is worth my time to do it. 500, 600, 700. If you start getting up in those numbers, I don't know. I've done this before. I'd probably just do it myself. Now, if that number also included the rear camera all installed, because I haven't finished that up yet, I got to see where to tap all that into in the back. You know, it would be even more of a good bargain. So, anyway, that's it. Hopefully, this helps someone who's thinking about using this unit in their Acura.